Hi, and welcome to AudioTuts.com. My name is Mo Volans, and in this screencast, we're going to be looking at how to deal with groove-based samples. Now, what I mean is samples that have been taken from other productions, either MP3s or WAVs, maybe previous mixes that you've done, or even CDs or vinyl. Now, I wouldn't ever condone using unlicensed samples in your productions, so always seek clearance before you either release something or sell your music with other people's samples. But my students do ask about this all the time, and it's something that I want to show you. So I've got an MP3 here that I've just taken from my iTunes library. You may have heard it, you may not have done it, doesn't really matter. We're going to be looking just strictly at the technique here. So here it is in the QuickTime player, and I'll play you the intro so you can hear what we're working with. Now, I've deliberately picked this because it's nice and simple. We've got a bit of effect there at the beginning. We're going to kill that. And we really just want the drums, that drum loop that's in the intro section. But before we move on and grab the sample, we really need to convert the MP3 into a format we can use. Now, if you're already working with a 16 or 24-bit WAV, you can ignore this step. But we're going to change the MP3 to a 24-bit AAF or WAV. To do that, I'm going to open it in a sample editor. And I'm using Peak Pro 6 to be exact, but you could use SoundForge or Wavelab or one of the free sample editors for either Mac or PC. It doesn't really matter. They all do a very similar job. So as you can see, we can see our effects in the intro. You could use those, but in this case, we're not going to. I'm going to currently select the entire thing, and then I'm just going to select the intro and fit the selection. Now, that's a really great way of zooming in on the part you want. Just selecting it and then going to fit selection. I'm going to take the loop from further in so we don't get any of that effect. Now I've got a good section of the drum loop there, and I've started before the kick that I want to use. It's a good idea to get more than you need and start before and further after the end of the sample you want to take. It gives you a good buffer to work in and a good amount of audio to edit. So we'll go to crop. And crop basically just takes away the parts that aren't selected. So we've got all the loop we need, and now we can save it. So let's go to Save As, and we'll call it Fogma Drums. In fact, we've already got Fogma Drum. We'll replace that in 24-bit. Save, replace. There we go. So we've got a 24-bit, 44.1 kilohertz AAF. And it's sitting on our desktop and it's in the right format, and we can see we've got the right amount and right selection. So with all that in place, we're ready to move on to the next step. Now I'm going to use a program called Propellerheads Recycle, and you may have heard of it, you may not have done, but I'll show you how it works, and then we'll look at other methods we can use without using Recycle. Hopefully these methods will work for every DAW, and you shouldn't be restricted to using just one program. So let's have a look at Recycle and see exactly how it works.